I'm Clement. I'll see you in 100 MIYE Gala Dinner in November. My father is a retired teacher, but to tell the truth, I've never thought that I'll be in education field. That's the last on my to-do list. So during my secondary school year, I dreamed of being a scientist and I wanted to be an astronaut, and you know what, I worked hard for that. So I got into JPA scholarship and then I studied biomedical engineering in US, and then even got myself into NASA Glenn Research Center, their internship program. But then somehow I think education field is still my destiny, because why? In year 2007, I co-wrote a paper with a best friend of mine in Ohio State University. So during that time, I got to know that, comparing to Western countries or even more developed countries, education system in Malaysia, we still lack a little spark. And I believe, instead of being astronaut or scientist, being educationist that could provide the little spark to start up something new in education field in Malaysia would be something more rewarding. So that's when I quit my job as a backstory researcher and got back to Malaysia. And that time my dad retired, and then seeing the fact that he has nothing much to do, I proposed, why not we start up something new, and then education enough that that's how I started, and that's when I founded Elite Academy in year 2009. Education field is completely different from other field, so you could not be too business minded about it, because education field is always a giving field. So I think how to strike a balance between being a businessman or how to give your best as educationists is very, very important in this field. I believe I've been playing a quite successful role for this one for all this while, and after forming Elite Academia for 4 years in year 2012, we decided that it's time for us to form a new company, a new entity, where I group a new team of educators. We start to launch Dino and Eduland. Dino and Eduland is a very different and a brand new learning model for early childhood for children ranging from 0 to 6 years old. So for Dino and Eduland, we have been the only education center invited by Chinese to the Expo, Big Data Expo in year 2015, and we have been successfully introduced to the locals in Chinese in Guiyang, Guizhou. So that's the first thing. That's the first center that we can launch. We are having the center launch in year 2016, end of it, and then for Malaysia itself, we will launch our all-encompassing early childhood center called Eduland Ibadu Kawan, Pulau Pinang, in year 2017. So I'll try my best, and our team will certainly hope that we could try to generate a new wave of education thinking or concepts in Malaysia as well. I sincerely think that in Malaysia right now, or as a general basically, there are too many leaders, meaning that there are too many people who want to be leaders. They think the higher you climb your social ladder, you become richer, you get more money. But I think as great leader, most of them, I don't think they set up to be a leader. The main important thing is that they have to set up to be different, to make the difference. So I think that's the main thing that is quite important. So do I still have time? I'll basically share a small story, a short story with you guys. My education group, we will always do our CSR. So I met this one little girl in orphanage, and her name is Christy. And what happened is that she got abandoned by her family members at the age of 5. So she's very, very weak, and then she has some terminal disease as well. So what happened is that when I met her, the one thing that struck me the most is that her eagerness to learn. So although she's very weak, she could be there sitting happily munching off any junk food, and the next second she would just faint. But then she loved math, and then she loved drawing as well. So every now and then, anytime that I could manage to try to find some free time, I'll go over there and I'll teach her how to draw and do some fun math. So there was one day I got informed that her condition turned worse. So when I got there, I think she could barely open her eyes, and she basically died before the ambulance came. But I still could remember her last words. He said to me that, Mr. Clement, if I could have a wish, I would really love to learn from you every day. So that's a moment that actually touched my entire soul, and that's how I complete myself, I think, that day onwards. So I think my soul got touched by an angel, basically, because that's how no matter how busy I am or how many different projects that I got involved in, education project is going to be my main project. Because why? I think as long as there's someone who's really learned, I think we as educationists, we have to teach them. So for my point of view then, to be a great leader, I think you have to draw your energy, your desire from your inner strength from somewhere else. Or it should not be how much money you earn, and it should be how much difference you could make. And also, what effort did you actually pour in to make this world a better place to live? So I think that's my piece of advice.